Hi, this is Melissa at Messy Missy Creates. Welcome. I am doing something very different today. I have not played with my gel plates in a long time, probably a couple of years. So long, as a matter of fact, that my brayer it was getting crusty around the edges. And so I peeled this really cool. It came off in mostly one strip. This is just layers and layers and layers of years of acrylics on the brayer. So I might find a place for that. So I'm setting it to the side. But this is my old gel plate. This is an 8x10. And I have the little square one here, which I'm not going to use. And this paint has been on them for a couple of years because when I was unable to use them a few years ago, when I stopped being able to use my right hand for a while, I quit using them for 3 years, I guess. So anyway, in the meantime, I had just gotten this one for Christmas. This is a 12x12. So I never even took it out of the box. So we're gonna christen this one, so to speak. And this one, I've been trying to get 3 years worth of, paint that's been dried on there for almost 3 years. I'm making headway with it. I was pulling I did a couple of pulls just using the white acrylic paint on top, and just to see if I could get some of that background off. So in the meantime, it's making for some added texture to the backgrounds. So we're not gonna stress over that. I hope that you can see I'm in a different room. I'm on a large folding table with lots of, I have plans, like building plans underneath, and then I have the silicone mat. I have this one on just one of those the cheap cutting sheets or cutting boards from Dollar Tree. And then this one I'm just gonna have, it's on its own little plastic sheet still. Oop, and I'm gonna shake you a little bit. This is a little bit of a bouncier table than what I'm used to. So anyway, I just wanted room to spread out. I have all my paints. You can see them kind of lined up in front of me. Sorry, this is a little, yeah, anyway, you get the idea. So I am just gonna start. Now, I am not that good at this. I'm not a pro at this. I don't know all the tricks and tips and all the things, but I think that's the beauty of the gel plate, is you don't have to be a pro at it. I love the feel of it. I just love to squish it. You don't have to be a pro at it. You just have to play. I have a couple of textures. This is kind of a plastic. It looks like stone. And it's got little holes in it, spaces in between the little mock stones. I got this at a thrift store or something one time, and let me see what it says on it. Enter design. That did not help. Okay, it's the same size as the bottom of my sink, so I have a feeling it's one of those sink mats, kind of like this is. This one I got a little while back and haven't used it. It's just got squares. This is a sink mat from Dollar Tree. Matter of fact, I hadn't even taken the tag off of it. So let me get that off. And so I have a couple of these things for texture. I have my paper. I have some brown paper. I have some more plans. I have some scratch sheets. I have book pages. I have all the things. I have some stencils. I have these are just background stamps that I use for art journaling, which I haven't used in a very long time. And I don't have a lot of wooden block stamps, but I do have this one. It's just a rose. I know I have some more somewhere. Oh, I know what I do have. I'll be right back. Okay, I have these Dina Wakley stamps that one of you sent me. And thank you again. And this one right here, the dots. I don't want to get, because stamps aren't necessarily designed for acrylic ink. Although these are rubber stamps, you can use them for anything. And I'm sure that she uses them in, she being Dina Wakley, uses them in acrylic paint as well. So I'm going to see which ones might make some good texture, design, that sort of thing on here. Probably these circles will. And then these dots I already have mounted because I use them frequently. So I have these, this one already mounted to a, I might take it off actually. So we're just gonna play. And I wanted to make, my goal is just to make some pretty backgrounds. I'm gonna start, now I need to shake up all of my paints because I haven't used them in a while. Let's see. I'm gonna start off bold. Now, this may turn into a hot mess in a hurry. Because that looks, it's ultra blue. I have a feeling that kind of is looking a little purple. So we're not going to, whoa, we're gonna slide and skid all over the place. Well, that was not my intention. I put too much on. That's the thing with gel plates, you don't have to put much on. I am slipping and sliding all over the place. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I have a little roll-off paper right here, but seeing as how I have too much on here, I'm gonna roll it onto this plate. Now, I still obviously have a, for lack of better words, a booger in my brayer because it's, see the lines in it? I thought I got all that off, but apparently I did not. But I wanted the 12 by 12 because, okay, I'm blending it a little too much at this point. I'm just trying to get off some of that green. I put way too much green on it. Okay. Oh, I also have, for texture, I also have a, one more time, because I think I have enough to pull over here on this, oh, let's see, what was I using to roll off on? I also have a chopstick and a, well, I lost my other little piece of paper, but that's okay. I have plenty of papers around me. I'm rolling my paint off. I have a toilet paper roll just to make circles. Well, or they're not really circles. They are kind of oblong. Trying to get to my chopstick down here. And then I have like this. If you just want to make designs, I have no plan. Don't gouge your, whatever you do, don't gouge your plate. Unless you want it gouged. But I'm assuming that you don't. So I have that, and this end of it has a square like that. I thought that might make a neat mark. Mark, that's the word I'm looking for. Mark making. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this one to my right. And let me get just starting with a regular sheet of copy paper. And I'm pressing it in really firm. I'm gonna actually roll over it with my brayer. It doesn't, oop, okay. My brayer jumped track here. I have another new brayer. It's the Tim Holtz one. I just was wanting to save that one for ink. So I was trying not to use that one in this. But, let's see. All right, ready? Okay. It's starting to come off. I've actually used both sides of this, so that dark circle that you see is underneath. It's on the bottom. All right. Well, we pulled off a lot of layers of crud. So I'm going to leave that to dry. And what else are we going to do? I might just have to actually, I guess you can wash them. I need to really look that up. And because I think that might be all we're going to get off of that. I could flip it to this side and see if we can get off some of this. I'm not sure what I was doing. I think I was using this as a palette one time during one of my classes. Yeah, it has chunks. How odd. Okay. Anyway, so I let this one set just for a minute. And you want a background color. So I'm going to use white. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to pull what we have. I'm going to make a pull from what we have. And I wanted the 12 by 12 because I want it to go edge to edge on a piece of paper. Which means that it's going to be messy. But messy is in my name. I am, if for nothing else, messy Missy. Okay. So that was kind of cool. I didn't push too hard, but that makes for a good, and then you just keep adding. It makes for a good background layer. See all the lines and the texture, the little mark making that we did. I didn't push into this section right here, but that's okay. Let's get another sheet. And let's do this side. Nope, I didn't get all the way to the edge, but that's okay. Where's my brayer when I need it? There we go. It has been a long time since I've done this, but I really, really, really enjoy it. And every time I do it, I'm like, why do you wait so long? Look at that. Isn't that yummy? Isn't that wonderful? And you can't really create that kind of organic marks any other way. I mean, I guess you can, but it's harder. I'm going to, because this down here I have not gotten, so I'm just using this scratch sheet. It was my roll-off sheet. And I'm wanting to pick up some of this loose paint, loose, wet paint, whatever. And now I'm going to keep going. Now, if I were to take this right now, and I can do it, I'll show you. You take, when it's kind of almost dry, you take some white or whatever color you want as your background. If I'm using white paper, a lot of times I do use white. I don't know if that's enough or not, but you don't want a real thick layer. And, oh, by the way, all I'm using is cheap acrylic paint. The little 50 cent to $1 little tubes of paint that you get. I mean, this is Christmas something. So I'm just doing, and you don't have to push hard. I'm not pushing at all. Okay, so I'm going to roll that off on there. And I'm going to take another sheet. I'm going to brayer it down. Hope I'm not jostling you too much, because I know I'm hitting this table. Let me see, did I get that down? Yeah, I know I'm shaking you. But see how that came almost perfectly clean? And look what we have. We have what was left on the gel plate. Isn't that fun? I think it's fun. And then you don't clean it off, you just keep going. So think I'm gonna change, and I want some bright colors. I've got these acrylics, and I'm not cleaning any of this off. It'll just, what's left on it will become background noise. You know, it'll just become texture to our next layer. And, okay, I didn't want to wear that. This is the Michael's Master Tut. No, I'm sorry. Hobby Lobby. It's very running. It's supposed to be like Liquitex or whatever, but it is so running. And also, I probably didn't shake it enough, because these have not been shown any love for a while. So I just want to thin. Ooh, look how bright that is. Look at that. Oh, something's... Talk about texture. I've got built-in texture to my brayer. I thought I got all that off, but I did not. But that's okay. It just makes for more texture. And I'm going corner to corner because I had plenty of that paint. And I'm just continuing to add over here to this 8x10, the smaller one. And then I'm rolling off the rest of it on this sheet of paper that you can't see. And at the end, sometimes my roll-offs, now look at, because that has so much water in it, look at how it's pooling up. I did not shake that well enough at all. But I'm going to go ahead and pull that. I'm going to pull it on top of this one and see what we get. I don't want the whole thing. I just want, like, right there. Now, you can put down stencils, and I'll do that in a minute. You can put down stencils and pull. When I say pull meaning you put the paper down, you pull it back up, and you get a print. So, look at that. I'm running out of places to put my stuff to dry, though. That's why I use this big table, but I ended up putting so much stuff on here. Let me get I have this bag of stencils. I have some Dina Wakley ones. I have some Diane Reevely. This one I love using. And I can't remember if it's I want to say it's a Dina Wakley, but I'm not sure. I'm going to put some more of that, I think. Let me shake it a little bit better. I want the orange. Let me shake it. I should have shaken these real good before I started with you. And they're still watery because they're just not thick bodied paints like the Liquitex. This looks like construction orange. Or what do you call that? Like deer hunter orange? Okay. Do y'all play with do you have gel plates? I used to love to play. I used to play with mine a lot. I used to take a lot of Dina Wakley's classes. She didn't do too many pulls, but I love playing with acrylic paint, and I just have not done it. It's messy, and I have to have, oops, I just shook you again. I'm so sorry. You kind of have to have the time to do it. Okay, now I'm going to put this stencil on just like this, and I'm going to press it in real good with my brayer. And then I have buried my papers. Okay, I'm going to pull. I'm going to do a pull with the stencil on and get all the paint in between. I think when I brayered over it, I picked up some of the paint, so it's not gonna have all of that on, all of the creases aren't gonna have paint. Ooh, I'm so sorry. Maybe this wasn't a good idea to do it on this table. I don't have enough room back in my craft room to spread out like this. So I put up a big folding table in the living room. And look, isn't that gorgeous? And it's got a little hint of the yellow, right? Whoop, okay. Alrighty, it's got a little hint of the yellow. And see where it beat it up? I don't know if you can see that texture, but it looks really cool. And that's what I'm saying. You can't get this kind of organic texture just from just anything. Let me move this other gel plate out of the way. And so that I can get to my papers. I buried my clear paper. Okay, so I'm gonna take this off. Now you could paint another layer over it. Now this has paint on it, so I'm gonna place it down on a sheet of paper, and I'm gonna get all that paint off. All of my background papers underneath me, they're gonna look pretty cool when I get done too. All right, so now we've got this texture on here, and then we can go in with another color. We can do white, we could do, what background color do we want? I mean, I could go in with the bright yellow again. I have green, which I don't want to mix the green. I have this kind of fluorescent pink or red. I could try that one. Okay. Let's see what that does. You want enough that you're not picking up what's underneath. You want enough paint to not pick up what's underneath, but you don't want a super thick coat on it either. Oop, I see I'm gliding over it again. That's all right. This left side over here, I'm just building scrumptious layer after scrumptious layer. There we go. Okay, let me brayer some of that off. See this page right here, this roll-off sheet. Look at the background on it. I mean, look at how good that's gonna look. Alrighty, see, it's starting to separate too, so we're gonna get that good texture in there. Okay. Let's get that in there really good. And I don't care that there's gonna be paint. I'm going all the way to the edges. I don't care that there's gonna be paint on the back. That's why I put down all these pages underneath me. Whoops. So that I don't have to worry about that. I just want to make sure it's all touching. And oh, and it's a tough pull. It's okay, so you can barely see the orange. That red overpowered the orange, so I would do it the other way next time. But can you see that? Isn't that gonna make great collage papers? And it's edge to edge. So that's why I wanted the 12 by 12 page, because otherwise you end up, and it's not a big deal if you have the 8 by 10, you just end up with all these edges. So I just wanted it edge to edge. So let me put this over here. They do dry pretty quick. And I have a ceiling fan on. Oh my goodness, I love that. I wish that you could see the orange through there better. But let's try that in reverse order this time. So let's see, what did we do? We put down, let's put down the red. We're gonna do it with yellow, but I'm gonna put the stencil on with this fluorescent red or pink. I put way too much on. Well, maybe not. I thought I did. I want this bottom layer a little thicker because I'm gonna stick that stencil through it. And I know my arm is all up in your face. I'm so sorry, but I have to brayer. So, and I'm just continuing to use, continuing to shake you too. Okay, so let's bring back this stencil and push it down. Actually, you know what? When I put the paper down, it will push the stencil into the paint sufficiently. Okay. Now let me make sure that's getting in all those little cracks and crevices. All in there. Because I want all that paint that's in between those stencils to come off on this pull, so that all we're left with is the stencil design. And you can see it when you're doing it. I can see the outline. Well, you can see it too, because I can see it in the camera. That means you can see it. And pull. And I was in the mood for some bright colors. Yes, please. Look at that. And I'm not doing anything that's like high technique. I mean, that wasn't hard, right? You put some paint down, you put a stencil down, you pull, and then we're going to pull up the stencil. And that leaves that paint there. And I'm just going to brayer this onto my background over here, just to get the paint off of it. See how cool that turned out? I know you can only see part of it, but it's pretty cool. Okay, so now I'm going to use the yellow. I might not use the rest of my paints. I'm really in the mood for some bright colors. I think that's enough. And you know, I have several aprons. Do you think that I thought to put one on? Nope. And I'm going over this left side. When I do pull it, it's going to have so many layers on it. It's going to be amazing. This one is going to be amazing. Okay. Ooh, look at that. If you don't have access to plans, if you know any contractors, they throw away their big sheet. These are smaller, they're house plans. We used to have a commercial industrial construction business. So I used to have access to a lot of large plans, like the size, like bigger than the size of desk calendars. I have a lot of those too, and I just flip them over from year to year, and after I use the front, I flip over the back and use them for drop paper. Okay, I think we're ready to pull this one. The whole thing wants to come. Oh, looky there. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Look at that. Look at that. It's very wet, so it's curling up on me. But look at that. Didn't that turn out good? Where can I put it? So it will dry. I'm going to pull this over here in just a minute. I'm going to use this stamp it into the ink. Not ink, it's not ink, it's paint. And all I'm doing is putting holes or dents, marks into the paint over here. But then I'm using the excess paint on the stamp to make marks in the blank spot. Now, I will warn you, you do need to clean off your stamps pretty quickly, because see all that acrylic ink down in there and it'll harden. So I will have to do that here pretty quick. I'm going to, I want to just pull this side right here without putting more paint down, just to see what happens. I mean, it's got wet paint on it, so it will pull something. I don't know if it'll pull off the whole, all the layers or not, but sometimes that's fun too, because then you get those little blotchy spots in your background, and that's amazing. Yeah, see, it left some, which is what I wanted. And then see this, now we got into some mud making colors a little bit, but isn't that neat? So that's what, see the little circles, that's what that little circle stamp, or the little stamp did. It just removed the paint in that section. So let me set that over here to dry. And you know what else? I have this down here on the bottom that I can pull. And I have this little corner right here that I can pull. I just wanted some of the layers off, because see how it was starting to get that green. I'm not sure what I used. Oh, it must have been some of the initial color that was on there. So now I'm left with a little bit of texture on the back. So I can start over, and what's on the bottom of the gel plate will be, when you pull it, it will be on the top. So we'll be able to see those. Trying to think of what color. Do I want something other than fluorescence? Not really. I think I'm just gonna play with some bright colors. Yeah, see, that's where I had that green in there. That didn't mix so well with the orange. Give me just a second. I'm getting hot, so I wanted a sip of my tea, my iced tea. Alrighty. What color do we want? Well, we could just put down yellow and pull, and we'd have just some little dotted background, or we can play with some more texture. I want to try the stone. So I'm going to put down yellow. It'll be a light enough color that it won't overpower the orange that's on there. And I have to kind of think about how, yeah. Because you got to kind of think in reverse order. I think that's part of the problem. But honestly, you know, I don't try to get, some people get very fancy with their designs, and I think that's awesome. They're beautiful. But I don't have the bandwidth in my brain to think that through all the time. So sometimes I just like the act of playing with the paint. And there's something very soothing about just rolling this back and forth. You know? You know? All right. So I'm just brayering that off. Now I'm going to stick this on here. Now it might not fit on the whole thing. Yeah, we're just, ooh, it's crooked. It's crooked. Okay, I'm just, with a dry brayer, I'm just brayering it on. I'm not putting paint on top. I just want it to pull. What'll happen is when I pull it off, it'll pull the paint where those stones are. Let me clear a spot over here because I know that I'm going to need, I want to make sure I catch this, if that makes sense. I'm going to scoot this over. I want to make sure I catch all of that stone looking goodness. I'm going to flip, there we go. Flip that around. Because when I pull that off, the paint that's on it, sorry for reaching across you. So now there's all this yellow paint on here. Boy, howdy. My Conjure Bumpkin just came out, didn't it? So I want to use that paint. I don't want to waste that goodness. So I'm just having fun. I hope that this inspires you if you have a gel plate. Okay, that's kind of cool. Can you see the yellow on it? The little stone. See that? Now, if I had like a background color on there, it would have come out. It would have shown up a lot more. But look at this texture we have on the plate. You know, if I didn't have it on this silicone mat, you'd probably be able to see it better. Now you can see it, can't you? Is that better? All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put white paint on it. Or I could do, I don't want to do green because the green and orange. White paint, when you're using on white paper, it just doesn't show. So all we're going to be able to see is that yellow and orange. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Well, we're just going to do it. Oh, that's not the white paint I was using. No wonder it's kind of goopy. Okay. This layer is just, we're using it to pull up what's on the mat already, or on the plate. So if you wanted a different color background, you would use a different color other than white. And I think I didn't let the yellow dry enough. So, because I see the yellow mixing in with my white paint. So let's see. We might not see that stone effect. I didn't let it sit long enough, I guess. You don't have to let it dry completely, but I guess it does help if you let it dry some. That's why I kind of like to work with 2 plates at one time. So, let me know in the comments if this made you get your gel plate out. Or if it's inspiring you to get a gel plate. I got this big one at Hobby Lobby. I think it was $34. Now the smaller ones you can get online. I think they're like 8 or 10 or 12 or something like that. I don't know. I haven't priced them in a long time. But I know when we got this one, it says $34.99 on the package. But I know that there's all different sizes. And the smaller ones are cheaper. Okay, so you can see some of the stone through there. And again, if we would have used something other than white, let's say we would have used like a light blue, it would have made the stone show up more, if that makes sense. Let's see. Let me use, I want to pull, see if I can fit that right there in the middle where there's no paint. Because I want to pull what's over here on the side. Okay. I think it's kind of grungy and cool. And then now we have little remnants. I still see the dots. I still see some other stuff. So I do wish that I had used like a light blue, like this very light aqua. I think that would have made the yellow stand out a lot more. let's see. We don't have much on here. We don't have much left on the plate. But we're going to see what it looks like. And you just want a real thin, even, kind of an even coat. There we go. This is something you can sit and do like in front of your TV. Well, if you can do it in front of your TV. Do I want to make some marks in the blue? Maybe. I have this brick design. That might be kind of fun. It's just a cheap silicone stamp that's got brick. Oop. You don't want to slide it. Oh, let me stamp this off. I don't want to slide it around. I just want it to, there we go. I just want it to give it a little bit of a texture. There we go. And now I'm going to come in with a little bit darker teal. This is probably the next one up. This is called Sea Breeze. It's an Americana Deco Art. This is Apple Barrel Cloudless. Trying to shake it up real quick. And we'll see what that looks like. I mean, unless you really mix some really bad colors, which if you know some basic color theory, you know, to don't do what I did earlier, put green with orange. And it's real easy to forget what layers you used. Like I had forgotten that I got so wrapped up in my fluorescent colors that I had forgotten that I used green earlier. So it didn't really mix that well with my orange, but nobody was hurt. I've got some grungy, kind of cool. I can tear like this part if I don't want that grungy texture or that, but I mean, nobody was hurt, right? So if you have one and you've been scared to use it, just get it out and play with it. And even if you don't clean it afterwards, or, I mean, you might want to. I did not that last time. Of course, when I didn't clean it, I didn't plan on it sitting there for 3 years, right? Or 2.5 years. I had no idea all that was going to happen, so. But you still saw some of it come off. So I can get it clean. I would imagine the only thing that you really want to stay away from is not gouging it. Like, don't poke a hole in it. Okay, that's kind of cool. So you can see the two tones of the blue, the aqua that we use. You can see remnants of that fluorescent yellow. You still see the orange dots. Because remember, they were on the bottom layer, so they're going to be on the top. What's on the bottom layer on your plate is going to be on the top layer of your paper. It's not amazing, but it's pretty cool, and we can always add to it. Like, for example, let me pull, I'm going to use a scratch sheet here. This is just his little tally sheet that I'm going to pull some of this. Well, I didn't let it sit on there very long. Oh, I just stuck my hand in it. I didn't push it in. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. I'm just trying to get, ooh, that turned into a really pretty green with that fluorescent yellow and the aqua blue. I'll have to remember that for future reference. That really turned into a very pretty blue-green. I think some of these papers are dry now. Okay. So, let's say we want more dots on here. So, if I take Now I got to be careful with the orange because I used blue. Well, you know what? I don't think I'm going to, because really on top of this, if I took those dots and I'd stamped them in ink and just made some circles or some more marks on them, I think that would be fine. What I was going to do is do it on, oh, I know what I'm going to do, but wait. I have Posca pens. So what color do we want? We want this. I have a apple green, a fluorescent pink, and I have a fluorescent yellow and a fluorescent orange in here somewhere. I have gold. Here's the fluorescent yellow. And come on, fluorescent orange. I know you. Oh, here we go. I think that's fluorescent red and fluorescent orange. And you don't have to use fluorescent, but because I already did, I'm going to. So if you just want, all I want is some marks to go on my next layer of my paint. No, let me try that again. So if I don't let it dry, and I do this right here, because I can't seem to say it in words, I'll have to just show you. See, that's another way of just using it as that, but you still have remnants on there, and when we put another layer of paint on it, that will be on the top. See, we just added some really cool organic looking marks to our page. And see, I can just, you do dots. This is that fluorescent red. Do I want some little X's? And maybe some, ooh, let's do some fluorescent pink. I don't want it to dry too much, so. As long as it's acrylic, I mean, I think you can even use watercolors on here. But as long as it's acrylic, it's not going to hurt it. Okay, so look, we just put... Now, I could have done that with the Posca pen on the thing, but it's way more fun to do it this way. So now I have... I mean, it's not amazing. I'm not in love with it because I just did it. You know what I mean? I was just showing you that you can do it. So I didn't put a lot of thought or effort into the pattern or anything like that. But now we have that on here. So if I do some, let's say I do some big circles. And this is just adding layers and adding layers. Okay, I have some big circles. Let's do, I don't know if I want to do yellow because I think, yeah, I'll do yellow. I'm in a circle mood, if you can't tell. Let's try to put my Poscas up for a minute. So now I want to, what do I want to do? Okay, so far, I absolutely love this one. I think that's one of my favorite stencils too. I used to love to do that as a kid. You know how you draw those and then color in the little line, in the squares there. And then this one I think is my next favorite because it really has a gradient, like from that orange to yellow. And you see all the little watermark, the little bubble, the little, where it bubbled on the paper. So let's put down a color. Let's try, I do like that light blue. Or, nope, but wait. I have this kind of spring green. Let's try this one. that might blend in with the yellow too much. Let me add a couple dots of this darker. No, I'm not. Nope, 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 because I'm going to do another layer. So this is just going to go sit right on top of those Posca marks. Well, that's the goal anyway. So I could pull it now and get those Posca marks. I'm going to go ahead and, since I have some extra, go ahead and push it over here and then roll it off. And then I'm going to use this stencil right here. And they have very big stencils. Like I said, that one might be Diane Reevely. They're all Ranger products. So I'm going to pull this. This might be our last one because I see it getting, I see the time just ticking away. So I'm going to brayer that in. I'm going to kind of push it in with my fingers too. Oop, oop, oop. Boy, I'm bouncing you. Sorry, I'm making you seasick. You know, we fished this weekend, and it's so funny when you get off the boat and you go to bed that night and you still feel like you're rocking. It's like, oh dear, somebody quit rocking the boat. Oh, looky here, looky here. How cool is that? How cool is that? That's going to make some great journal background pages or collage pages or something. So now we're going to take the stencil off. And it's going to leave the reverse effect. I'm just brayering that onto to get some of that paint off and not waste it. I don't think there was much on there. And so whatever color we put on here now is going to be the little background color. So I think I want this darker. What did I use last time? Ooh, this is Wasabi. Do I want that or do I want? Yeah. I hope it's going to be dark enough. I could, you know what I could do? I could use a really bold blue. No, wait, I already did the ultra blue. That was kind of purple. This is cobalt. Let's try that contrast on a really dark color and see how that works out. I'm just playing. We're just experimenting and I'm playing. So that means this is going to be our background color on our page, right? Because it's on last. There we go. Well, it's doing a lot of skidding. So I've got a little bit too much paint on there. There we go. All right, so if I do a pull right now, I know I have too much paint. Let me brayer some of it back off. Ooh, this paper over here is looking pretty good. Look at my roll-off sheet. I don't know if that's coming out as too dark, but it's that blue. I love it. All right, so let's pull this and see what we get. Let me see if I can do it without the brayer. Use the brayer. It's easier. Just getting up to the edges. I try not to roll off the edges a little bit, but uh-oh, I think I just gouged my paper. I did wrinkle it, I know that. All right. This might be the last pull. Okay, I think the blue was too dark. It overpowered the yellow. Yep. But you can still see it. Not very much. Not very much. But I can see it in person. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. But anyway, so that's how that one turned out. Not my favorite. Not my favorite. But that's okay. But this one, I think if I'd used that lighter blue, it would have shown up better. I was thinking the dark would show up better. I love this one. It's got hints of that orange and green and yellow and that pink. And this might be my new favorite. So we're going to see what this one looks like. And this we didn't put any texture on. We just rolled the paint over there. Okay, so it just picks up all the layers of paint. You can see all the little crusties in it. The little hints of the fluorescent orange and yellow. Nothing special, but great, again, great collage fodder. And I'm just getting a quick pull just to get some of those. Oh, look at that. I think it's showing up darker on the camera than it really is. I don't know. I always think that. And then when I watch the video back, when I'm editing or whatever, when I watch the video back, it doesn't look as dark. So I'm just pulling up extra little bits off the thing. So, well, I hope that you enjoyed that. I enjoyed playing. I'm going to play some more. Let's do a recap. So we have this one. And then this one wasn't amazing, but we learned. This one I love. This one I love. This one I think looks like an Easter egg, but I love it. And then this one. And that one looks cool, very bright. That one looks cool. And that's just the extra. This is the one in the beginning where we made the little mark. So we might need to do more of that because I really like that. And then this is just my little roll off and clean off. I love this right here. And these are just my little clean off ones. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So even the clean off ones are pretty cool. You just keep using the same one over and over and over in different spots. But we have lots of collage fodder now, don't we? I mean, that was a lot of pages for an hour's worth of play. Or 45 minutes or whatever. And I'm bouncing the camera because I actually hit it with my hand. I'm sorry. So I forgot how many sheets that was. But anyway, I had fun. I needed some bright color. Now I'm going to go out in the bright sunshine into my garden. And no, I'm not. I'm going to sit here and play a little bit more while I have all my stuff out. And I will, hopefully you enjoyed it. And hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye.